Hi there, welcome to the weekend video, and of course this week I'll be covering all the normal stuff, including a new company. Yeah, I haven't bought anything for a while new. It's bargain time. Because I believe we're having a correction. Corrections are healthy in the market. They prevent big fall-offs. You know what corrections are doing? When the market sells off, it's having a correction. It's readjusting for, say, slower global growth. That's what's happening at the moment. Global growth is slowing down, of course, and so the forecasts we had, say, a year back are not the same as they are now. And so it has to adjust, and the market just sells off, valuations come down, which is very good. If we keep having one or two corrections a year, they're not massive, then it means a massive sell-off may not need to happen. So it's a good thing. There's some decent bargains out there. Because, of course, when a sell-off happens, pretty much the whole market sells off. Regardless of financials, the fundamentals of a specific company, one company could be doing very well, but the entire market sells off. Like I said, a rising tide, same as a dropping tide, the boats go lower. All the boats go lower. Okay, so I'm going to cover a new company. It ticks all my boxes. It's in a tech space. It's also a good hedge. And I'll cover that why in a bit. I look at the charts of companies that I think are very interesting. My stock performance, or the performance of the stocks I hold that I've been covering since I've been doing them on the videos. My portfolio performance, and don't forget, subscribe. Then, when you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Okay, you get notified whenever I release a video. And if there's anything you want to ask me, do it below. When I start talking, I start getting a bit windy. Do apologise for that. Comment below, and don't forget, if you look below this video on YouTube, you'll see my face, my name below that, and then you'll see show more. Two little words, but you hit that, expands the menu, and below that you see loads of links. So any company I talk about on today's video, I've previously covered in more detail right below that sort of show more. Okay, so if you want to do some more research on any of these companies, then please do that. This is not investment advice, just, I may be biased. I always say do your own research, become a better investor, and make your own decisions. So, first and foremost, the company I want to talk about that I bought a little chunk of this week, only a little chunk, is Argo Blockchain Mining PLC. On the RNS, they say Argo Blockchain. On here, they say Argo Mining. So, and why I like this, and let me just tell you what they do, first of all, okay? So they are a global data center business that provides a purpose-built and flexible platform for mining of leading cryptocurrencies for the enterprise scale and institutional sectors worldwide from operational centers in Canada. And in fact, I'll put a link below, actually, to their YouTube video. You'll show the sort of Canadian sort of warehouse factory area, this platform where all these sort of machines are mining. Now, I'll tell you why I like this, because a while back I said, listen, there's no doubt, right, a global growth is slowing down. We may see a rally in the next few months, and everyone thought, okay, that's okay, it's fine. Global growth is fine. That big worry is not going to happen. Gold will come back, or it'll all come back. But I do believe we're in for slower growth, and now the yield curves are predicting within 18 months there could be a recession. All right, so you need a hedge, and I mentioned a while back on a video, in fact below. I was looking at there's 4 sort of ways or accessible ways to pretty much hedge that I looked at. One is bonds, buy more bonds, but bonds now are already rallied, and so literally. Corporate bonds better than sort of government bonds, of course, with more risk. But you get, what are you getting? Listen, it's like, is it 15 trillion, I think, or 25% of government bonds around the world are now on negative yields. And that means you loan the government $1 or euro, especially in Germany's negative yield, and they pay you back 96 cents. What's the point of that? That's how risky, how people are feeling, how risky it is at the moment. All right, so bonds, pretty much in most places, are the question. U.S. Treasury bonds, there, of course, you're still getting 1-2% maximum. I think 1.5 on the 10-year, so 1.5 or close to 1.6. So not a lot. That's your option there. There's also, like I said, gold. Gold has rallied strongly, but I think it'll have a pullback. I've started scaling into gold a little bit. I did hold a gold ETF a while back. I sold it. I got back into it after the rally. I bought low. I sold low. I bought high. The opposite of what you should be doing. So the gold, but I'm scaling the gold. There's also dividend-paying stocks. Now, when you're getting such low yields elsewhere, in bonds, you will find investors, the biggest investors, looking for decent dividend-paying stocks. So a dividend-paying ETF. I'm in one of those. I also mentioned Bitcoin, but I did say Bitcoin is quite volatile. It's like, is it 5 times the volatility of the S&P 500? So it's quite volatile, and it's how do you access it? You have set up an account with the one of these platforms like Coinbase, or one of these I don't know Coinbase, but I set up several about a year and a half back, and I've not used them. But it's hard work to get access. You can do it spread betting and stuff. But this company, Argo Mining, is doing very well. They're improving, and essentially they are a play on Bitcoin. They highly leverage their Bitcoins. They mine crypto assets, and they hold crypto assets. So of course, the prices go up and down, but they're improving. Their margins are great. They're improving. They've got cash. Like I said, listen, this is my when I look at companies, this is what I look at pretty much. Is it around about 20 million market cap or less? Yes, it is. It's 21, but it was on Friday. It rallied about 3% on Friday, I think, but it was below 20. Is it tech? Yes, it is. Is it a hot sector? Yes, it is. Bitcoin is a very hot sector. And listen, Bitcoin is becoming increasingly an asset, all right? And central banks are devaluing, or they will devalue their currencies by reducing interest rates. And so Bitcoin is a store of value, like gold. And that's why it's rallied recently. So it's hot tech, all right? Does the CEO have skin in the game? Yes, he does. He has a big chunk. Do they need to go back to the market? No, they don't. They've got cash, and they were cash flow break even back in May. So let's go through. I want to go through some of these updates, the trading updates. Okay. So they've got this facility in Canada. Basically, got several thousands of machines, crypto mining. Okay. If you don't know what that is, then I'm not going to explain it to you. It's the definition is too complex, but look it up. But essentially, by mining and helping the blockchain, you get rewarded with cryptocurrencies, crypto assets, and they mine the Bitcoin and Ethereum, the major ones, not many of them, which I suppose are less volatile than the other ones, even though they're volatile. So let's go through some of the trading updates, okay? So 8th of May, this is an operation update for April. Directors remain confident of having equivalent of 400 Bitcoin of crypto assets on Argo's balance sheet by the end of Q2, which at £4,500 pounds per Bitcoin. Now, of course, Bitcoin is a lot higher than that now. It's rallied massively in the last few months. It's around about $10,000 at the moment. So what's that? That's £7,500 equals approximately 1.18 million in crypto assets on the balance sheet. Directors estimate the mining costs will increase to approximately 300 grand for the quarter. The board reiterates expecting to be operating cash break even during May. That's good news. Jonathan Bixby, who's no longer there, actually, by the way. Argo expects to turn EBITDA break-even in the second half of this year. We strongly believe the cryptocurrency market has considerable long-term potential to become a major asset class. So do I, especially with governments devaluing. And it happens over and over again. And the correct strategy is to continue to invest in mining infrastructure at the current prices. All right? So lots of things happening. Do you know what? I did mention on the weekend podcast, actually, there's a book out about how to create wealth or how to own the world or something. And there's an interesting section there about inflation and how real inflation is a lot higher than we actually think, because you get shrinkflation, whereas companies, maybe put up their prices by, inflation or less, but they also shrink the product, which means you get the equivalent, you have to buy more. But they say basically it's not even accurate. The basket of goods they look at isn't accurate. So essentially, inflation is not running at 2%. It's running at probably double that, if more. All right, and so inflation, basically, our currencies are becoming devalued all the time. Like I said, if you had 10 grand 20 years ago, it'd be worth 1 pence now. You know what I'm saying? Currencies, fiat currencies, are being devalued, whereas Bitcoin and gold is a store of value. This was the 3rd of June. The company expects to generate approximately 685 grand of crypto assets in May, based on Bitcoin price of $8,575 at the 30th of May. So of course, the price got up of Bitcoin, so the assets are worth more. This approximately is 37% better than the company's previous guidance provided in the shareholder circular on the 18th of April. The company's cash operating costs in May were in line with its forecast of 280 grand. So in fact, it went down. They said 300 grand it was. Notwithstanding any material change in trading, Argo also expects its results for the second quarter of 2019 to be substantially to exceed its previous guidance. So that's good news. Like I said, it's high leverage the Bitcoin price, but they're also very efficient miners. The margins are very high on the mining. So look, so here we are. So July, so last update they've done so far. Okay, July, operation update for July. The company generated 163 bitcoins, or 1.36 million in crypto assets in July, based on the Bitcoin price of $10,000. It's around about that now. In fact, what is it, 10,400 as of the 31st of July. The assets were mined at a mining margin roughly 80%. Argo considers that this continues to demonstrate the company's efficiency and cements its belief that it's one of the most efficient crypto miners on the market. Installation of new mining equipment continues at pace with 1,000 Z11s, 2,269 Z17s Ant miners currently in production at Argo's Quebec facilities, which were installed and mining ahead of company's schedule. So this continues here. As part of the company's previously announced expansion, additional 7,000 state-of-the-art machines will be delivered and in production by the end of Q4 2019. So they got what? I think it was a couple of thousand, almost close to 5,000. They added another 7,000. Oh, I think about 4,000 they had in production. Delivery and installation of the new equipment expected to result in a sequential month-on-month rise in Argo's production capacity over the next 5 months to approximately 500 petahash by the end of Q4. I did look up what petahash was. I wasn't still none the wiser. Representing a 296% increase over the current capacity. So here's the guy's been there for a long time, but he's also now taken over as executive chairman. It was him and the other guy. We are pleased with the mining results in July as they demonstrate that we can use our existing investment in people and facilities and add new mining hardware with no increase in staffing and no material increase in non-mining costs, which is excellent bonus, of course. This operational gearing is very important as we triple our mining capacity over the next 2 quarters with no significant increase in non-mining costs. That's very significant. If they break even already and they can add all these machines, tripling the output doesn't cost any more. That's straight to the bottom line, pretty much, So it's very significant. So this is just an example of how they're expanding. This is the 4th of July. They ordered 5,000 Ant miners at a cost of $13 million, of which 50% is being paid for immediately, with the remainder to be paid 5 days before shipment. The purchase is funded from a combination of cash and cryptocurrency mining assets. So they're buying Bitcoin and cash. I assume Bitcoin. The new hardware is expected to be delivered at the end of November and will be a complement an existing installation base of 7,025. So they'll have, 12,000 machines. Following installation, the company total Bitcoin capacity increased roughly to 505 petahash. So this is quite important here. It says here the capacity by the end of Q3. At the current Bitcoin price of $11,300, the return on investment of the company at current S4 machines is approximately 4.5 months. That's so good, isn't it? Just Mike again says, this will make Argo one of the biggest and most efficient mining platforms worldwide. That's very encouraging. I always like claim to fames like that when you're one of the best in the industry. With a 4.5-month ROI on our S17 purchases this June, we're excited to have even more hardware in the pipeline. So let's just summarize what we know about this company now, because there's a few things I don't understand. I mean, listen, like I said, they have crypto assets. They've got an 80% mining margin. This is not, I assume it's gross margin. It's a mining margin, so it's no admin costs. I assume that's gross margin. So I think, what was the net? It's hard to say what the net margin is. That's the trouble, But it's looking very good. And considering they break even in May, and now they're tripling the capacity rate pretty much from July, and like I said, Bitcoin is stabilizing around $10,000. It seems good, because that's the thing. If the price of Bitcoin goes down, this is why it's like gold. You should, I think Bitcoin is going to be an asset. It's going to increase in value, like I said. But if it goes down, these guys will suffer a little bit, because of course they not only mine their assets there, but that's on their balance sheet. They hold these assets as crypto assets, so the value of their balance sheet will go down as well. I don't know how much. Also, I don't know how much they convert to cash or sell the cash. I don't know what they could buy. Obviously, equipment in Bitcoin. So I would like to see a financial statement to understand what happens to conversion rate, maybe from crypto assets are cash and all that stuff. But it's very interesting. So here we are. In summary, market cap 21 million. The company had 15 million of cash the 31st of March 2019. So they're cashed up. They ordered these 5,000 Antminer S17s, total cost of $13 million. They said the return on investment of the company's current machines approximately 4.5 months. That's 11,000. So I brought that down. So say 13 million divided by 5 months. That's 2.6 million a month to cover that return on investment, which means they're generating about 214 average a month in crypto assets. So they can cover that on that. That's excellent. So by the end of Q4, they increased their current capacity by 296%. Their current capacity is 163 bitcoins, or 101.36, based on the Bitcoin price of 10,122. So even if we only double that, they'll be generating 2.72 million of crypto assets per month by the end of Q4 at an 80% operating or mining margin. Okay. The company's cash operating costs in May were in line with forecasts, 280 grand, and they were operating cash break even. Now, they're mining a lot more now than they were back in May, because the margin is good. And the price of Bitcoin, it's pretty much stable at 10,000. So they're doing very well. This company seems to be doing very well indeed. And as I said, this is why I think it's a hedge. It's a good hedge in a company that's improving and growing very quickly. And you don't have to go, and acquire Bitcoin yourself. You can just invest in this company in your ISA. So that's why I like it, an improving company. The guys behind the company as well are, worth looking up because they've got a good track record. So this is the share register, by the way. First investments. They're quite an activist investor. And they got the first guy I mentioned. What was his name? I can't remember his name now. The first guy I mentioned, let's have a look. Jonathan Bixby. Pretty much when they started off Argo, they were doing mining as a service for retail, for people. So you could go basically set up an account, pay them direct debit, and mine via their cloud. Costs were quite high apparently, and First Investments Holding weren't a big fan of that, and they had a requisition, an AGM. General meeting. They want to get rid of Mike and Jonathan. I think we've discussed. I think Mike said, "Yeah, you're right. I think we should go away from the retail side." And this was at the timing when the Bitcoin price was down at $3,000, $3,500. So the margins were being squeezed, and so they changed now. They're mining their own book, and but you've got that. I mean, I think First Investments wanted to put someone on the board, but I think the guys Mike rejected them, and the rest of the board rejected the guy they suggested, non-exec. So there's a bit of an activist, holder there. That's why I put it in red. Durban Holdings, by the way, that's Mike and Jonathan. The guys, pretty much they own 13%. So I think that it did mention in the last buy quite recently that it was Durban Holdings that just held by Mike. So I don't know whether he's bought out Jonathan now, but big chunk of game. Now, what's worth noting, Hadron Capital, last two RNSs from them, holdings, they were selling down. So you may see some weakness in the share price. If it's not because of Bitcoin, if it doesn't weaken, then it's because of Hadron Capital may be selling down. But as you see there, a well-stacked, shareholder register at the moment, over 50% held by these holders here. So that's quite good going, And two guys on the bottom there, they're executive directors as well. So they own a bit of skin, a little bit of skin, not a huge amount. Okay, let's start off with the BTC, the Bitcoin, okay? This is my take on it. This is a bit, this is where the price is, let me get face out of the way. So the price has rocketed, back in December 2017, wow! Time fly when you're having fun! Almost 20,000, okay? Look at this, it's sitting, how long? 2 years. This is the crypto winter, they're saying, crypto winter, there, in 2019. But it came down to 3,002. Started coming round. Look at this. This is the big tell sign, isn't it? Look at that 200-day moving average. All right, and look, it didn't come up at once. Look, the share price didn't hit it once, and then it's 1 day. It's almost like the new. Look at that. The volume coming in here. Pop right above the 200-day moving average at 4.6, pretty much. This is a good trend. You got the golden cross happening here. Another good trend. This is, buy and pullbacks here. Above this, buy and pullbacks, you've been laughing here. All right. As you see, when it popped above that, RSI gone mad. The MACD was over the zero line and hedging upward, and it came back down. But when you got momentum, look, even when the RSI comes down, the share price doesn't naturally have to collapse, because there's so much momentum there. So it comes down, but this would be a good time to buy here. When is it at 50? Good time to buy. Where is it now? Again, it's 50. All right. Now, what I don't like so much is the RSIs are rolling over, pretty much. They're touching the zero line. When this happens generally, look, it does fall again further. Put the RSI down here. But there seems to be strong support. Look, and resistance. So at this level here, which is this, get your fat ball head out the way. Resistance and support at 9,000, or let's bring it out. No, 9,000. Yeah, there. Strong resistance on support, and I think now this is the bottom uptrend. I genuinely do. With currencies, with central banks reducing their currencies, I think Bitcoin's here to stay, and I think it gets stronger generally. But we have to see this turning up, because at the moment it's suffering with a bit of weakness and lack of momentum. But I'd be surprised if it gets back down to that 3,000 level where it was. No way. I heard someone say that Argo, or ARB, are profitable at 2,000 Bitcoin price. I don't know if they are. I don't know. I don't know where they get that figure from. But they're one of the most efficient in the world, miners. And they're expanding very quickly, off their current sort of cash generation or crypto generation. So that's good. They don't have to go back to the market. That's a good sign. So maybe consolidation phase around here, but ready for the next leg higher. And there's just one thing. Look at this. This is a bit of a wedge here, Yeah. So boom, 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 up, no, down. So they may go up. I think that's an up. That's going higher. That is going higher. Bitcoin is going higher. You hear what I'm saying? I guarantee it's going higher. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. All your Bitcoin is going a lot higher. I know it is. It doesn't come back this often. It's risen very quickly. It's gone from what? 4,000. It's almost tripled, since April, in this couple of months. Of course it's going to cool off. But momentum is strong on this, my friend. Momentum is strong. Okay, let's just... I won't go with gold. Let's have a quick look at gold. Should I look at gold? Gold ETF. Just gold. Go on. Gold, look at that. High. It's rolling over, though. It's going to roll over. This is the time to start accumulating. When it starts rolling over, get down here. Start accumulating gold. Or that gold ETF. All right? Let's have a look at some companies. I'm going to change this. Start all... Bidstack, yeah, okay. Bidstack. So look at this. Very major sell-off here. Didn't like it down here, look. Look at that. It's come down. This is a support here, but it's come down Bidstack, and it's just bounced above that 27 pence, look. Doesn't like it, but we are bouncing here. Look at this. This is a good sign. This RSI is bouncing on support here at 40. This is the cold. It goes below this. It was cold, very cold. Goes back up. It's warming up, getting hotter. But some cracking news out. Talk about travel for the news, and then arrive and sell. That was the best news, the most significant news Bidstack's had. That major DSP it signed with. This could be a very valuable company. Could be very valuable. Well, we know that, What's next? Immotion. Surprise at Immotion sell-off. You can now buy this. It's a steal. The directors piled 190 grand into this at 6.7 pence, the placing price, which is above that. You can now buy this cheaper than directors. And look at this. Let me just move this across. Look at that support there. That is super support. It's really on oversold. It's coming round. Look at that. That is good. Converging on MACD. That's good. Very good. I like that. Okay. Skin. Again, suffered in the sell-off. A lot of these companies are suffering the sell-off. Always good to have spare cash. And pay a bit of cash. Look at that. Sport. Broken that? No, it's gone a bit above it. Didn't like it below that support. Didn't like it below that. It's gone a bit above it. So that's quite nice to see that. Again, that's flirting. Ooh. With the oversold level. Hey, oversold. You're looking fabulous. Right down here at 30. Hey, don't mention it. I bet you say that to all the RSI levels. So it's down there. This is oversold. But it bounced off it. It didn't like being oversold. In fact, it flirted with the RSI at 30. Didn't pull it, by the looks of it. They went their own ways. And I think this may build from here. I think we have a good week in the markets. I think, Donald Trump didn't like it. He tried his best, didn't he? He went to the brink with the old President Xi. But the Chinese are suffering, Donald. Why are you stepping back all of a sudden? Why are you delaying tariffs? He knows. He's judging. He's so many times he said, stock market, let the stock market and business be his judge. Well, it's selling off, fella. And global growth is slowing down. So this is good. Look at this. RSI went down here. Price diversions. The price went up. RSI went weaker. This is good. MACD converged. We're building here. We've seen this bounce. Didn't like it down here. Didn't like it being oversold. We are bouncing. We are bouncing nicely. Just in time, hopefully, for news. And the seller, SpreadX, I think, is out pretty much. They're below 3%. Nice with a little bit of volume here, picking up. But hopefully, it's picking up. Let's go to Open Orphan. Again, it's had a bit of a problem. Lack of news at the moment. You need to get some news out there, guys. I know it's a new company, but you need to start getting some news out there. Below 40 in the RSI. That is not looking happy. It needs to come round. We haven't got a lot of data to work on, but listen, fundamentally, I believe in Kyle there and the company. It's going to do very well, I think. Polarian, again, sold off a little bit. Massive milestone coming up. Phase 3 enrollment results will be complete, or enrollment total will be complete for Phase 3, and the results are after that. It's a no-brainer. This is the most low-risk Phase 3 I've ever read about. SafeStay again. What's going on here? They need no cash. They have plenty of cash. They're expanding. They're in the trendy sort of boutique hostel market. We can stay in major cities for like 12 quid. 10, 12 quid. Nothing. That's nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I think if the recession hits, this is exactly where you'll be staying. They get lots of corporate clients, not just students. They are very nice areas. Again, oversold. Oversold. Absolutely nuts. So many companies oversold at the moment. And they're all in my portfolio. Powers, I missed Powers, did I? It's had a little rally, it's come back. Come on, guys, come on. Oh, it's back into the wedge. Back into that wedge, is it nearly? Yes, it is. Didn't get out, it bounced above it. It's nice. It's a nice attempt, though. That means it could use that. Look at that. Yeah, it's pretty much back in that wedge, isn't it? I think pretty much, yeah. It needs to build up again. Okay. Way education. Again, need more news. Way, come on. They're starting to do some news here on Vox. That's very good. I contacted the guys. Said, come on, you need to get more news out there. And fair play, they came on Vox and started doing it. But they need to do more. It's bouncing there, though. It's nice. It's not a rally from here. Up to there. I'm up in sort of way because they did as well there. And Xeros. Hopefully we're going to see something happening here very soon. Water tech, plastic, microfiber tech. Expand this. What's happening here? It's a flat chart. God, it's flat as a fell in the missing woods. But it's come up here like this. Hit 125 moving average. That's a wedge here. Look, come in wedge. Come on, move it up. Bit of news we need. Of course, when you forecast you're going to do a fundraise, the share price is going to suffer. We don't tell them what the price is going to be at and how much they're going to be doing. The price is going to suffer. Once that's at the way, I think this will fly. I really do. I think it will fly. If the directors, Mark, put some skin in the game, fella, other people will follow you. You're the leader. Follow the leader, follow the leader. That's the wrong tune, isn't it? Steve A. On the comments below, Steve A pointed out Argo for me, and he gave me the heads up, gave me a nice little write-up. I don't know whether your note, Steve, or somebody else's, but thank you very much for that. And because of that, I did some research, and I also went on Twitter, did a search on the ticker, and so a couple of people I knew held it, like Power Thompson and the Mad Stalk, and I said, guys, what do you know about this? And so I had a good chat, and then maybe first and foremost, it may be interested from the notes, but those guys are very good investors as well. So the fact that they're in it, I quite liked, but I always did my own research, and I said, okay, let's check it out. Market cap's good. It's in the right sector. It's starting to generate cash by the looks of it. They don't need to go back to the market. It's in a hot sector in tech, and the CEO has skinned the game. Listen, it ticks all my boxes. I like it a lot, and it's nice to have sort of some exposure to cryptocurrencies. I think I think it's going to be massive. You know, I don't know which ones. Like I say, you don't know which one's going to be massive. Bitcoin is the main dog, the lead dog, of course. But it's always good to have sort of kind of exposure to this kind of hot new tech. I say hot new tech. It's been on for a while now, but it's still, everyone's still saying it's the thing of the future. You know. And in fact, if you notice, I do chat about crypto every Thursday, Friday with Glenn Goodman, who's a crypto trader. In fact, he has. That's Glenn there. So I'm quite into it. I quite like crypto. You know, I don't own any at the moment. In fact, I do. I don't know where I own it though. That's the trouble. So I quite like crypto anyway. Yeah, so I think it's very interesting. So we talked. It's funny how since that spike happened and Bitcoin came back down, a lot more of the big companies are getting into blockchain, you know, and like JP Morgan, all these people starting up their own blockchain, sort of own cryptocurrencies. So it's a very interesting space. Okay, thanks for watching. By the way, let's just have a quick look at the companies and how they're doing. It's been hard. All right, there they are. So here's my results of the companies I've covered. Bidstack, do well. I sold Big Dish 230. Nuformix 172. Looking for news on that, hopefully. Agronomics 39%. Polarian 23, Integumen up 8, Open Orphan up 4, Waite Education up 3, Argo Mining 0, of course, just covered those. Powers down 1, Safety down 15, Immotion down 19. Can't believe how much that fell recently. Day 0 down 26. They don't reflect my actual holdings because I've averaged down in some of these when they've dipped. And I'm actually up in some of those that showed down, or close to being up, because I average down, so I buy in small chunks at the start and average in, or average up or average down. This is my performance over the last 18 months, 57%. I'm going to see a big dip in this sooner or later in that 3-month figure because it's been hard the last few months, I think, and I've not performed very well. I've not outperformed massively. Last 6 months, 84%, last 12 months, 105%, and last 18 months, 154%. But yeah. Anyway, listen, if you enjoyed that, by all means, listen, do me a big favour. You know, hit that subscribe button. Then, after you subscribe button, you will see the bell. In fact, you can't hit it there. At the end of this video, you'll see my face at the bottom screen. Okay, click that, then hit the notification bell. Or like Steve A did, by all means, if you've got a stock suggestion, put it below. Market cap, all the information you are, the better the write-up. If you look at Steve's suggestion below on one of my videos, it was excellent. One line, gap, one line, all fact, and did some good research there. But anything like that, if you've got a stock suggestion for me, put it below in the comments. Or anything else, any questions, I'll cover below. And don't forget, you've got lots and lots and lots of videos below my this video, below my name. My face and my name, you see show more, little 2-word show more. Click on that, it'll show you a wealth of other links on previous subjects. All right. Oh yeah, don't forget, hit my face here, okay? And then there's some other videos right there. They're worth watching. Oh yeah. Oh, don't waste your time doing anything else. Just watch some of those videos.